Welcome to the Fantasy Football Hub YouTube channel. Today I'm joined by a very special guest. Last year's FPL winner, Lovro Budashin, is on the channel to reveal his current team for the upcoming Fantasy Premier League season. Lovro, it is an absolute honor to have you on. I need to reiterate, you won FPL last year, an unbelievable achievement, something that people like me can only dream of. But you actually went there and did it, and today you're going to be telling us your team as it stands for the new season. First of all, a pleasure to have you on the channel. How are you? How has your summer been? How was winning FPL last year?
Hi to everyone. It was great feeling, but to win in the Fantasy Premier League, but I didn't have enough time to celebrate it like as I could have. My summer was too short because I have some exams and I didn't have time to chill.
Lovro was telling me off camera that he didn't even really get to celebrate the win, which is crazy. But he was straight into some very, very tough exams. So yeah, I mean that's a bit of a shame, I suppose. But also from chatting to Lovro off camera, he tells me he watches a lot of football. May not be able to watch quite as much this year, but just before we get into your team, is that sort of the way that you've done well in fantasy in the past? Is it through watching a lot of football? We have this sort of debate, don't we, between stats and watching games, and different managers have different ways of playing the game. Maybe they care more about stats. Maybe they use their eyes more to actually watch the games and make their own decisions from that. It sounds like you are more of a watching football fantasy manager.
Yeah, of course. I need to have my eye test and then I decide who I bring in and who to transfer out or something, who to captain. I don't know. Everything I need to watch and then I can decide.
Yeah, makes complete sense. Okay, so let's get into it. On screen right now, you can see Fantasy Football Hub's My Team tool, and this is what we're going to be using to build Lovro's team. It's a fantastic tool. It's completely free to use. Link down below if you want to do it. Yeah, you build your team on it yourself. And what it does is, after building Lovro's team, it will tell us a team rating percentage, a game week rating as well, and also the predicted points of Lovro's current side. So we can sort of, get a gauge as to how well it might do at the start of this season. Last question, actually, before we get into your goalkeepers, Lovro. How important was a good start for you last year? Did you get off to a flyer, or was it more of a grind in the early weeks?
I didn't start so well last season. I was okay in first, I think, 2 game weeks, and then I had the, I think, least scored was like something like 23 or like that, and then I fall to like 3 millionth in the world,
Oh, wow.
and from there I need to get on my own feet again and like was in fights every week.
Yeah. Well, who knows? Maybe this season it'll be different, and using something like Fantasy Football Hub could help you with that. Just to know right off the bat whether you have a solid squad ready to go, or maybe there could be some improvements. It's worth mentioning as well, we are still a week at least out from the deadline, so this is not a locked-in team or anything like that. But this is the current side that Lovro's got. Let's go for it, mate. Who have you got in goal?
At the moment, I'm going with Matsels in goal.
Okay.
I think Nottingham have a good run of fixtures, and I believe he's quality enough goalkeeper to keep a few clean sheets in first 6-7 game weeks.
Yeah, very solid option, I think, Sales. Yeah, all the goalkeepers are very similar in our predicted points for the first 4 game weeks, but Sales had such a good year last year. Do you worry at all about Nottingham Forest having a bit of a fall off, just because they did overperform last year and their stats for the second half of the season weren't as good?
Yes, but again, they don't conceive much goals.
Yeah,
They'll be. I think their attackers can be like less scoring this season, but I think their defense is good to stay with cells, I think.
yeah, I'd agree with that. They've kept all their defenders, and we know how good they can be. Let's move. Well, actually, I want to ask you: you're not going to be rotating Sales, are you, with another goalkeeper?
No. I'm okay with like having Cells and some 4 mil goalkeeper,
Okay.
which right now I'm going with Kinski from Tottenham, but I maybe if, for example, if Dubravka joins Burnley, I'll definitely go for him. I think he need to be their first goalkeeper. And my main thought about goalkeepers is I don't want to spend more than 9 mils for them. I think like that's the most money I'm going to spend on goalkeepers.
Yeah, completely agree with that. I mean, if there is a 4 million goalkeeper that, yeah, establishes himself as a number one at any club, then that is just gold dust. And yeah, that's a strong rumor right now that Dubravka may well be going to Burnley. Who knows? He may be there by the time this video is
Yeah.
released. Okay, solid options in goal. Let's move on to the defense. Who have you got?
My current premium option is Guardiola.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Uh, I'm going with him because City have also a good fixture on, and I know he has some attacking potential, but I'm afraid he will be playing as center back. That can be a problem with him going into attack, but I think that from set pieces, he could still be the main target. And that is okay. I'm okay with that because I also think he has solid potential to pick up extra 2 DEFCON points from time to time. Like not every game, but I think he's quality enough to have that sometimes.
It's interesting you mentioned DEFCON points, defensive contribution points. I was wondering at what point that might come into this discussion. Such a big thing this year. I just want to get your sort of overall thoughts on defensive contribution points. What you think about them being added? Obviously, you won last year when the rules were a bit simpler. Now we have twice as many chips and defensive contribution points as well. Just quickly, I want to mention that on Fantasy Football Hub's sort of toolbox section of the website, under our Opta stats, we do now have a full section of defensive contribution points from last year, showing what each and every player would have got if defensive contribution points were a thing last year. Let's have a look actually at Gavardiol and just see how many he would have got. So he would have got 10 last year, which is probably on the low end, but I mean, it's still some bonus points.
I think it's still okay.
Yeah. What do you think about defensive contribution points in general then?
I don't know what to think because like it's just 2 points. But again, if some player have like in 80% of the game weeks extra 2 points, that is for me
Yeah.
for defensive player, it's really good. But who knows? Like they could end up at 9 def coins, and what then?
Mm.
They were close, but again, 0 points from defcon.
Exactly. It might be one of those things where you can't really predict it that much. And it may well
Yeah,
be the
sure.
case where, players that actually get fewer overall like DEFCON points, as in the clearances, blocks, interceptions, tackles, whatever, recoveries, could get less or fewer actual points. Say, as you said, they get 9 or 8 or 9 most weeks, but then somebody gets 12 one week, 4 the next. Actually, you want the
Yeah,
player
yeah.
that's getting 12 and then 4, but
Yeah,
it's hard to
it's
predict.
unpredictable, I
Yeah.
think. Yeah, very hard.
Okay, so Guardiola's in. Who is your next defender?
My next defender is Nico Williams.
Nice.
Uh, I think again, like Cells, he have good fixture run. I think he was like a decent pick for Defcon points last season.
Yeah.
And my prediction for this season is like he can give some more of attacking returns this season than last season. And that mixed with Defcon points, I think he can be for 5 mil, very good pick.
Yeah, I really like him. I think as well, we've got his DEFCON points last year at 18. But you got to remember, he wasn't always in the side. But then he came into the side second half of the season and then was playing consistent 90 minutes, sort of week in, week out. Not 100% sure how it's going to work with Forest with rotation, obviously being in Europe now. But yeah,
Yeah.
I really like him as a pick, and I agree with you with his attacking upside potential. Okay, so Williams is in. Who is next?
Next is this new West Ham signing from Slavia Prague, Diouf.
Love it.
Honestly, I see him more attacking threat than Wan-Bissaka, and I watched a few games in preseason, and he has like great cross, and I think he could be uh, with finding Fulkrug and Bowen with that crosses, and they are pretty good of converting those chances into goals, and that's why I picked him for now.
We were chatting before we started recording about Juve and Wan-Bissaka especially, and I think it was one of the first things you said to me in terms of players you're sort of looking at. You were saying that you couldn't really understand why Wan-Bissaka's ownership is as high as it is, almost
Yeah,
32%, and Juve is down at just 3%. And you also mentioned that you've watched Juve before. I've to be honest not really heard of him. I saw the highlights of the recent friendly, but you told me that you know how attacking he can be, and you just don't really get the difference there in ownership.
yeah, I don't get it really because okay, Wan-Bissaka is playing in Prem like for years, but I think he won't be so attacking as last seasons because also they signed Kyle Walker-Peters, and maybe if they play 3-5-2, maybe he will be like their right center back and not a right wing back.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he then lose so much.
I was thinking myself, is Diouf nailed on because of Walker Peters? And he obviously has played left back and left wing back a little bit as well before for Southampton. Do you think Diouf is nailed? How important is it to have players that are nailed for you, or like as close to nailed as you think they can be for game week 1?
It is important, but I think he is nailed because I myself I will play Walker Peters on right side and Diouf on left side
Okay,
if they play 3-5-2. I don't know what will they play, but that's my prediction for now. I need to watch some more games.
sure. Really like the pick. I think that's a player that we're not seeing in many drafts at the moment, but come game week 1 within our community of really engaged managers, I think he will be in quite a lot of teams. Okay, so moving on to the next player, let's just round off the defense. Don't give away the formation you're playing, but yeah, who are your remaining defenders?
Remaining two defenders are Udogi and Gudmundsson.
Okay,
Yeah, I think Udogi is currently a placeholder for my 4.5 mil defender, but he can also stay in my team if he will be fit in game week 1. I believe Spurs, like under new manager, could have a better chance for keeping clean sheets, and he might also offer something more in attack.
yeah, I would agree with that
And
100%.
Gudmundsson, yeah, and Gudmundsson is just placeholder for any
Okay,
4 mil defender, and I don't have any particular reason for choosing him over someone else for now.
yeah,
Maybe it will be Renildo or Esteve or I don't know.
yeah. The good news is there are quite a few that we could potentially choose. You don't need to make that decision
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
Okay. Solid defense, not a load of money spent, which I really like actually. We're seeing, some defenses. I think in my current draft even, I've got 2.6 millions, a 5.5 million. It feels like a lot on defenders. I know we don't have that sort of Trent price now of 7.5, whatever, but still feels like quite a lot. You've not got Van Dijk in there, who is a really popular pick, especially amongst the community.
Yeah.
Just why is that before we move on to midfield?
Guardiol is for me have better fixtures. Van Dijk, Liverpool don't have that good fixtures in the start and in the beginning. And for me, it's if City can have like 2, 3 clean sheets in first 5 game weeks, then I think it's better pick than Van Dijk because I don't think they'll score like two goals in first 5 game weeks.
Yeah. Interestingly, we've got Liverpool down at 13th. If you sort of rank the overall fixtures for the first 6 game weeks or so, City higher at seventh, and yeah, definitely
Yeah,
some clean sheet potential for both teams. I think yeah, well, City have better fixtures. I think we could agree with that. It's just
yeah,
depends what you're thinking about it, I suppose. Okay, then let's now move on to the midfield. This is where it gets interesting. Do you have Salah in your team?
yes. For now, I'm going with Salah draft, and we know who he is. We all know that in last 5, 6 seasons, he has always had at least 1 or 2 returns in first game week, and it's he'll most likely to be also captain for the game week 1 if he stays in my team. And Liverpool have like strengthened quite a bit, and if they also sign Isak, I think their goal average per match could be really high. And then Salah is must have.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I mean, what's his ownership right now? 56, 57%. It's pretty
Yeah.
scary to go without him. We'll wait and see whether you go with Haaland later on down the line. Don't give it away just yet, but for me, I think
Okay.
Salah is a dead cert, as you mentioned. The fixtures they're not great from a defensive point of view, but I think Salah is who he is. And look at those predicted points here. Like it doesn't really drop below 7 ever for Salah with his predicted points, which is just absolutely ridiculous. So
Yeah,
yeah,
it's ridiculous.
he's got to be in there. Who is next then?
My second premium option is Palmer,
Of course.
and I think again he has better fixture run than Saka, and should also be a more reliable penalty taker because Arsenal signed Gyökeres, and Arteta said something like they'll uh, figure it out who will be first penalty taker, and we know that Saka missed some penalties, and Gyökeres have good record on them. And I think maybe if Gyökeres is on pens, I think Saka is slightly overpriced.
Interestingly, we've got Saka's predicted points very similar to Palmer's here of the first 4 game
Yeah,
weeks. I'm not sure I'd 100% agree with that. I just think that Palmer is a slightly different level. I mean, I really like Chelsea's opening fixtures in general, and apart from that Leeds at home game for Saka, I don't think that I don't think it's that good. Even Forest at home is not it's not the best fixture. We wouldn't be saying last year that's a plum fixture. And yeah, I
yeah,
completely agree with you. I think Jokeres may well take penalties. Saka's like a nice guy as well. You know, he was giving them all around last year. He's not the sort of player that's like, no, you're new to the club. I'm taking the penalties. I'm the penalty taker. It's like, well, let's try and help a new signing bed in, perhaps.
yeah. And watching Chelsea performances at the Club World Cup and Palmer's form, I don't think it's unreasonable to say he could be a like long-term hold. I think he can score against better teams and one at the bottom.
Yeah.
And I think it's very, very good pick.
Okay, so Palmer is in. Yeah, completely agree with you. I'll be really interested to see how Chelsea as a team this year do against the better teams. We've not. I'm a Chelsea fan. We've not done that well really over the past few years against the bigger teams. But Palmer showed obviously in that final in the Club World Cup that he can do it against the top sides. So let's see if the team as a whole can improve there. Next midfielder, who have you got?
Third midfielder is Wirtz.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, I believe he could be like the key player who will link all attacking options in Liverpool. I think his assist potential is at a very high level. And I also think that Salah and the rest players uh, will know how to make the most of it.
Mm,
You know, I think they're intelligent enough that they can like see the part of field where he is gonna pass the ball. You know,
yeah.
and I also noticed that he is on set pieces, especially on corners, and that increases his assist potential even higher.
Yeah, 100%. He feels like one of those players. Maybe I'm wrong here. You've probably watched him a lot more than me. That just I don't know. He sort of excels when there are better players around him. I'm not saying he can't carry a team because he definitely can, but I feel like he might just go to a different level when he's got, as you say, these like top players
Yeah,
around him.
I think also. I think also because he can like he sees everything and he can do everything. And
Yeah.
then when they also can do everything, I think that will be a win-win combination.
I think it'll be good for him as well having Frimpong in the side. Like they know each other so
Yeah,
well,
yeah,
and then
yeah, yeah,
I mean
yeah.
having Frimpong and then I don't know who's going to play right back, but Frimpong, Salah, and then I don't know where Wirtz is going to play as well. But him sort of drifting over to that side, say if he's playing attacking midfield, that could be like ridiculously strong.
Yeah, I agree.
Looking good for Wirtz. Yeah, he's in my team as well. He's not been in, I think, any teams actually that we've had on the series so far on the channel. So yeah, good to see him in there.
I
Let's
think
go.
maybe maybe they're sleeping on him,
Do
you
you
know?
reckon? Maybe.
I think because I saw him doing like very, very great things and maybe okay, maybe they don't watch Leverkusen
Mm,
and they just see okay, Farmers League and he have like goals and assists and everything. But
yeah.
when he plays for Germany or in Champions League, I think he can do it in Prem also.
I think perhaps one of the reasons that he isn't in more teams. Let me check his actual ownership right now. It's 33%. It's pretty high, to be fair.
Yeah, it is. It
Yeah.
is.
Wan-Bissaka, close to Wan-Bissaka levels, which is, yeah, as you
Yeah.
mentioned, pretty ridiculous. But yes, I think maybe because people are slightly cautious with new signings into the league, that it may take a little bit of time for them to settle. However, I would argue that with players that are at that level already, that are just elite players, like with Haaland, who we saw before, they don't necessarily need that time. You know, they might just hit the ground running. And versus one, I don't know how much you think about sort of potential downsides of not going for certain players or missing out on value if you have to then transfer them in a couple of weeks. But he could definitely like explode to 8.7, 8.8, 9 million pretty quickly. I don't know if you want to miss out on that.
I think also.
Okay, let's get into your next midfielder. Who have you got?
I got one mid-price gem for
Okay.
me. It's Morgan Rogers.
Ooh, I like it.
And I he was the player who I didn't really get along with last season, but I'm giving him another chance this year, and hopefully he won't let me down. You know, I whenever I put him on the bench, he scores,
Yeah,
assists, everything. When I play him, he do nothing. And I think this year, because Asensio and Rashford are not anymore in Villa, he will need to be he need to step up more and have more goal threat and more assists. And I need him to be like that because I believe in him, you know. And alongside Watkins, I think he's their main man.
yeah. I mean, the fixtures are great. I think he
Yeah,
started
fixtures are
strong,
really
aren't they?
great.
Yeah,
I think for offense, it is really great.
yeah. I'll just check this. You might know, but I think he started something like I think he might have started 37 out of 38 league games
Yeah,
last
I
year or
think
something,
he was nailed on. I think he
which is just
was.
ridiculous. Yeah, got the stats here. Here we go. Last season, 37 appearances, zero from the bench. That is as nailed
Yeah,
as you're ever going to get for an outfielder. I mean, like, sorry, and not a defender, I suppose. Well, actually, an outfielder doesn't get much better than that. That is ridiculously good. Wouldn't have got any defensive contributions points, but that's because he's an attacking player. You know, you
yeah.
can't get everything.
For these players, I don't really. Defcon doesn't really matter for me. I need them to score goals and have assists and not
Yeah,
have Defcon points. You know, I like this is for players like I don't know Anderson or like and for defenders and for my attacking players, I don't really care.
yeah, completely agree with that. It's worth mentioning again before we get into Lovro or the rest of Lovro's midfield and attack that everything that you're seeing on screen right now is on the Fantasy Football Hub website. If you want to see like all these stats, I mean, there's so much stuff here just in this one toolbox section. We've got all the Opta stats you could possibly want. Player points predictions, the fixture analyzer, which I've been showing you throughout this video as well, where you can adjust the game week range to see who has the best fixtures over a certain game week range. For example, if you know you're going to wildcard or you're planning on wildcarding in game week 9, you would just set the game week range up here to show the first 8 game weeks, because that's all you really need to care about. It's a very useful tool. It's a dynamic game week range, I think, is just a cool feature that we have. Loads of other stuff as well. I literally don't have time to go over it all in this video. But yeah, link to sign up to Fantasy Football Hub if you want to take advantage of everything, not just the My Team tool, is down below. It's currently 50% off as well. You're not going to get a better deal than that throughout the entire season. If you want to win at FPL, link to sign up is down below. Let's carry on. Last midfielder, who have you got, mate?
I've got my budget enabler midfield option, and that's Adingra.
Oh, okay.
I think he should have complete attacking freedom in Sunderland, and I expect him to play full 90 minutes in most matches. I hope for some returns in, I think, first few game weeks, because they have also good schedule, good fixtures in front of them, and I believe he's got enough quality for that. And also Sunderland signed some good players in midfield, and like Xhaka, and that should help him a lot.
Very
He
interesting.
can like bring the ball to him, and then I think one-on-one Adingra can do magic.
Interestingly, I've set the price limit on midfielders to under 6 million. Yeah. And he is the highest predicted point scorer of any player over the first 4 game weeks of players that are 5.5 million and below. Now, I say that only because first of all, yeah, maybe a bit of a gem there. Importantly, though, Anderson, who's in loads of teams, has got fewer predicted points than him. What do you think about Anderson as a pick? And you've gone for Adingra. That's obviously the decision there with that price point.
Yeah, but I think Anderson can also be a great pick, because he this season I think he can also score some goals, and I need him to be as nailed as like Palmer, start every game, and then maybe I'll go for him. But now I rely more on Adingra minutes and his attacking potential.
Very nice. Okay, so that is the midfield done. Looking very strong. 21 million left to spend on your attack. Who have you got up there?
I've gone for another Villa talisman, Ollie Watkins.
I thought you might have done, just because you were talking about him earlier, and Asensio and Rashford leaving, and yeah, strong option.
Yeah, I think it's really time for Emery to fully trust him and make him team's primary penalty taker. You know, if that happens, he could be also like Palmer long-term hold as well. You know, they have good fixtures, and if he will be on penalties, I think that he is great option.
I don't know why he's not as good at penalties as he should be. I mean, I'm not sure. Have you been burnt by him missing penalties in the past? I have been on multiple occasions.
Yeah, but I think that maybe, every season is new one, and maybe this season he will have like 9 out of 10 penalties, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I
mean, he's a great option. What's his ownership now? It's getting higher. Still quite low at 14.5%, but I think
for me, I think it's really low,
Yeah.
And on same price, you have Gyökeres,
Mm.
who is new signing and new player in the Premier League, and I rely on Watkins more than Gyökeres in the beginning,
Yeah, it's interesting that he's predicted to score the second most points behind Haaland of any forward in the game. I think that just shows how good he is. But yeah, he had that period where it was out of the team. Really, I don't expect that to continue. I don't know. I don't really know what was going on there, but maybe it was one of those Emery was trying to play a little bit of a different way. As you said, had Rashford, had Asensio, so those there was more competition. But yeah, really like Watkins as a pick. So you've doubled up on the Villa attack. You've doubled up
Yes.
on the Forest defense as well. You're not afraid of really going for something when you believe in it.
Yeah, I'm not afraid because what can happen, you know? I can be like mastermind or I can be like, okay, it's fine. I missed some things and I'll get rid of someone maybe or not, or I'll wait for them. We'll see.
Yeah, I think you're probably more on the mastermind side of things there, judging by your performance last year. So, yeah, I mean, I'm really taking note of these double ups. Maybe I should be going for it myself. Watkins not in my team. Maybe I'm missing something there. Okay, 12 million to spend on your final two forwards. Who have you got?
My second forward for now is most likely going to be Solanke.
Okay.
I'm a bit concerned about his injury right now, and he only played like one half in preseason in match against Reading. But if he'll be okay with Son leaving and Madison injury, I believe he'll be their first choice penalty taker. And again, Spurs have good fixtures. They're opening with Burnley in game week 1.
Yeah.
If if he recovers in time, he could start the season very strongly.
Yeah.
And I just don't want to miss that.
Yeah, I agree with you. He's been in my team since the game launch, really. I don't think he's going to go anywhere. But you're right. It's one we need to watch out for with that injury. Need to see some sort of like solid minutes, I think, because you want Solanke for the sort of guaranteed minutes. I think that's what he's so good for when he's in that team. You know he's going to be on the pitch for a long period of time, not really got any competition up there. But if he's not like 100% fit, it's going to be tough to go with him. I don't know, say he misses the Burnley game or out of nowhere, or maybe it was expected. Then he's got City away. You're like, oh, bit of an error. But it's one that will go down to the Game Week 1 deadline, I suppose. And then 4.5 million to spend on your final player.
The final player is Mark Gill. I expect him to sign for Sunderland, and I just saw something that he should be a nailed-on starter because of some terms of the contract.
Oh, really?
And yeah, and I like today I find it somewhere on the net. I don't know where,
Interesting.
and I'm fine with that. He will probably be just sit on my bench and watch others to play, but it's okay. I can rely on him when if someone got injured and or something.
Okay, so there is the team. It's worth mentioning as well that Mark Gui is still a Chelsea player right now, so that's why he's in a blue kit and he's got 0 predicted points because he wouldn't play for Chelsea. But that is the team. I'll save it. I'll optimize it. So that we'll choose the best captain and put the best players in. Interesting that Goodmanson has come into the team ahead of Juve. I'm not sure
Oh,
I agree with that. I don't think you would
I
do
don't
that.
agree.
So let's
Yeah,
swap
I
them.
don't agree with that.
Let's swap them. So would this be your starting team? Do you reckon?
For now, yes. For now, if they all stay, yes. But I'll probably change it like multiple times till the
Yeah.
deadline.
I've got,
And a lot of new players are signing, and I also need to see if I can build my squad differently to have like better team overall.
yeah.
But again, I can decide if I want to go with strong team and really bad bench,
Mm,
or I want to have like 14 players who play. It's like it's start of the season, and because I'm afraid of some who will start and how much will they play, and then I'm I'm on this side which with Udogi and Gudmundsson who will play probably in first squad and then in first 11, and then for now I'm on that.
I really like this team. I've got to be honest. It's one of the best teams I've seen so far. Definitely the best team I've seen on this series. If you're new to the channel, I get experts onto the channel and interview them about their teams, and then we can compare the team rating that we get at the end. But even the team rating aside, which is a whopping 95%, which is by far the strongest we've seen so far, which is, I think shows this team is really good. I like so much about this team. I really like the structure. I really like that you have a few picks that are very low owned right now. I'm thinking of Diouf, Adingra, even the likes of like Goodmanson on the bench, Udogi. We're not seeing them in many teams. Verts as well, potentially really sort of really undervalued pick right now. But I think it's just really balanced. I completely understand what you're saying with the bench, but I think you have enough cover there. If Goodmanson is going to be a starter, Gui as well, I think like he is going to play if he goes. I like it a lot. It's a very, very strong team, and you have like some key players that could do huge things for you. You managed to get Rogers in there as well over a 6.5. A lot of us have those 6.5 million mids in. I suppose you think that he's better.
Yeah, he's better, but I have zero in the bank, you know.
Yeah,
M Maybe I'll find that zero point 0.5 to have in the bank for just in case.
yeah, that's true.
I'll see. I need to find some new players, maybe. I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know. I think this is pretty good, mate, to be honest. I think this is
Yeah, yeah. I'm okay with this team, but I don't have anything in the bank, you know. And that scares me a lot.
okay. Did you start last season with money in the bank, if you remember?
Oof, I think yes. I
Oh,
think yes,
wow.
but I'm
Okay.
not so sure.
I mean, it
Not
is
so
good for
sure.
flexibility, isn't it? But I mean, when you throw money into all your money into a team like this just looks really nicely set up. I know I've said it, and I'm not just saying this because you did win FPL last season. By the way, this is one of the nicest teams I've seen so far. So yeah, who am I to say that to tell you that it's a nice team? But just from my personal opinion, I really like
Yeah,
this.
thanks for your opinion.
No worries.
I appreciate that.
Okay, now, although we have a 95% team rating on Fantasy Football Hub, we do have a feature called AI recommended transfers, which I'm going to click on right now while explaining what this does. I'm not sure what it's going to be able to do with your team, to be honest, because it looks so good anyway. But on screen right now, you can see some recommended transfers personalized to your team, which in theory would improve it based purely on sort of the points predictions of Fantasy Football Hub. Now, I'm not sure what you think about these moves, but the recommendations for your team are to sell Solanke and bring Beto in. Now, we've talked about Solanke's potential risk in minutes there. Doesn't have to be someone like Beto, but a cheaper forward, really. And then with that money, upgrade Verts, who, is new to the league. You've talked a lot in this video about how you think he could be very good, but he is new to the league. And then bring Saka in, who we know how good he is. What do you think about these moves or moves like this?
I don't agree with them because Beto is, I think he isn't a nailed on starter, you know. And they signed that guy from Villarreal.
Yeah,
How's
Barry, I think is called.
yeah, yeah. And I don't think they'll or they play together or some will start one game and other will start other game. You know,
Yeah,
I'm not okay with that. With Solanke, you know, for me he'll be an A-lone starter, and then Wirtz to Saka. Okay, I got it. I got that move, but I think that Saka have difficult fixtures, and I don't know if he will be on penalties again. And I don't know. I'd rather stay with my players
yeah,
for
yeah.
now.
Well, I mean, it worked for you pretty well last season, but yeah, maybe a little bit of food for thought. I think the point of this Solanke to Beto move is to sort of unlock Saka in for Verts. And
Yeah,
you know what it's like with with sort of predictions and the data. You kind of have to use previous season's data and be perhaps a little bit more cautious in general. If I was to ask you now, who do you think was going to score more points over the season, Verts or Saka? I think you might say it's pretty close. Whereas I think like the data, the points predictions would say Saka definitely, and that's probably where the difference is.
yeah. I'm okay with Saka scoring more points with more points than Wirtz, but I don't think that Beto can score more points than Solanke, you know.
Sure.
and combined, I got onto Solanke and Wirtz.
Absolutely. Okay, well there we go. Those are your recommendations right now. I suppose a lot will depend on Solanke. Where you might go if he is out will be interesting to see. A lot of people on Joao Pedro. Have you considered him at all at the same price?
Yeah, yeah. But if Jackson leaves, I'm okay with him. And if Jackson stays, three
Hmm.
players on the same position, Delap, Jackson, and João Pedro. Okay, maybe Pedro can play as 10 and Palmer can play on the right side, but I don't know that. I need to see if Jackson will stay or not.
Okay, there we go. Well, anyway, those are your recommended transfers. Food for thought, if nothing else, and you're well within your rights to disagree with them. It's just recommended transfers personalized to your team based on the data, based on our AI, the algorithm. If you guys would like your own recommended transfers to your team, for your team, then sign up to Fantasy Football Hub. Link down below. As I said, it's 50% off right now. And also, we are still running the deal that we've run for the last couple of years, which is insane. If you do not win your mini league this year, you will get your money refunded to you, all your money. It's pretty ridiculous if you ask me, Lovro, but there are T's and C's there, very simple to follow. But yes, if you do not win your mini league and you sign up to Fantasy Football Hub, you will get your money refunded to you. If you want to win at FPL and be like Lovro, then Fantasy Football Hub is the thing to do. Also, you can compare your team's rating to his for absolutely free. Link down below. But yeah, if you want to win at FPL, link in the description, in the pinned comment, and sign up to Fantasy Football Hub. Lovro, thank you so much for coming on the video. It's been an absolute pleasure to meet you. I also have to say I'm very impressed by your ability to chat FPL in English when you are Croatian and you're not used to doing videos. I mean, I make mistakes all the time and I've been doing this for years. So yeah, massive appreciation to you. And I'm sure the comments will be giving you a lot of love. But yeah, been an absolute pleasure to have you on, mate. And good luck for the start of the season.
Thank you. You too.